In Chinese medicine, the liver is associated with several things. Of course, it's the filter of the body, but also it is about cleaning the blood and storing the blood. All of the different organs also have an associated emotion, and the emotion associated with the wood element, which would be the liver and the gallbladder, is the emotion of anger. And when I first heard this idea in school, in Chinese medicine school, it was a real epiphany, because the upside of anger, now I grew up in an alcoholic family and I associated anger with belligerence and making a mess and drama and ugliness. But what I learned in Chinese medicine school is that when a person is angry all the time, when a person is exhibiting that behavior, it is actually the liver that's calling for help. It is also an essential emotion for pushing through something. So it's associated with the springtime energy, and so it requires a bit of oomph for the daffodil to come up through the earth, right? It requires a lot of oomph for the dandelion to push through the concrete. And so it's about pushing boundaries, and the liver, a healthy liver, needs a little bit of resistance and something to push up against. So when I treat people and they say that they're waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning consistently, so night after night they're waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, it always brings to mind the Chinese clock. And the Chinese clock is a 24-hour clock, and the idea is that each different organ system is most active at a different time of day. And curiously, the liver is active in the middle of the night between the liver and the gallbladder, the wood element, between 11 p.m. and about 3 o'clock in the morning, at which time the lung takes over. So that 3 o'clock in the morning moment is, and it would be with noon, at high noon, the sun right overhead. Sometimes our daylight savings time, et cetera, kind of alters the actual solar concept of time. So that 3 o'clock in the morning moment is the time when the liver moves into the lung. And when people come to acupuncture with the concern of always waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, the suggestion is that there is some kind of blockage between the liver and the lung. And there is also this more philosophical concept in Chinese medicine that the liver rules dreaming, that there is a spirit associated with the liver called the Hun, and the Hun, the spirit of the liver, travels up at night. It rules our dream time. It gathers information from a place that we can't see when we're stuck here on Earth. And so when a person's waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, my recommendation as a practitioner is to ask them, what's your thought? What's the first thought that comes to mind when you wake up? And a lot of times people will say, well, when I first wake up, I'm thinking, oh no, I'm going to be up at 5 o'clock. I have a whole bunch of stuff to do. And the first idea is, oh no, I want to be back asleep, like this frustration with being awake. But usually that's actually the second thought. The frustration at being awake is the second thought. And if they can catch it, the first thought is oftentimes, or can be, a solution or a resolution to a problem that they've been working on. So I was working with a particular patient many years ago, and she came in with the complaint, waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I gave her this advice: note what's your first thought. And she said that she started to use that, and that oftentimes, indeed, she was a manager and had a lot of responsibility working with her team. And oftentimes the first thought was a solution to this dilemma that she was experiencing. And so she would be able to jot it down or make a mental note. And then the gift of that was that she received the information the liver was trying to communicate to her, and she could go back to sleep, no problem, and wake up at 5 o'clock as needed, without consequence, but actually with this wisdom, this information that was going to be helpful to her. So the body is always trying to communicate something to us. And when you have a recurrent thought, or when you're waking up at a particular time, make note of this. It definitely can be supportive information to be helpful to you. And that is the idea of the Chinese clock.